How does discomfort transform you? I'll ask you that again. How does discomfort transform you? Tina Turner said, "You are the creator of your own destiny. Don't wait for someone else to make your dreams come true." I'd like to welcome all of you to Discomfort Empowers You. I'm Marlene Foster with the Empower Division, and today I want to talk to you about an author's story trailer that describes how discomfort transformed her life. And then again, how does discomfort empower you? Think about today. It may have been something that you're thinking about doing. Is there a dream that you've thought of? Maybe there's even a change that you want to make to a plan you already have in place. Or maybe there's something brand new, an innovative moment that you've had. You have the time now. Stop and think about. And I will talk to you today about the push and pull that empowers us through discomfort. Remember now, push and pull. We'll talk about that today of how that discomfort impacts us with the push and pull. Okay? When you think about the stock market, this is a real good example. The stock market, most of us have what, a 401k plan, maybe an IRA, mutual funds in the stock market, right? And when the stocks rise, you get happy, right? You're happy about when you see that you're making money. That makes us happy, correct? And can you think about most of us is for our retirement, and that's why we have our money invested, and for other purposes, maybe even for college planning for our children. But when that stock rises, you're happy. When it falls, you decide. Some of us run and sell. I want to say to you, do not sell without the advice of a professional. The stock market is not something that needs to be mismanaged. You have to let someone who knows what they're doing help you in that area. And that goes back to our businesses. When you have those discomforting moments, don't run and hide. Don't run and duck for comfort. Rise, move forward, and you decide to keep going even through the discomfort, because you got to get through it. And as you know, most of the time, the bridge, when you're crossing it, that bridge has collapsed. So you're looking at, well, how am I supposed to get to the other side? Stop and think. How do you think about getting or traveling to the other side when you know that bridge has collapsed? But with the stock market, when it rises, you make money, but when it falls, if you talk with professionals, they'll show you a way that you can still create value. You can get value even through failure. Talk with a professional and they'll show you there's still a way that you can still get value when your stock falls, okay? Now, the story trailers that you'll hear on Tuesdays, I'll be talking about short version of stories. These stories will be read in the upcoming book, 500 Moments of Discomfort. And this is a leap year challenge that was created in 2024. And it was a result of the pandemic. I transformed my business during that time. I was always a face-to-face person. I did business face-to-face. The appointments were done face-to-face. So that means that I traveled. I was on the road traveling. I flew. I was always travel. And a lot of you understand what I mean because you did it as well. I did a few public speaking engagements. They were done face-to-face. So I am accustomed to seeing faces, and I'm used to seeing eyeballs, because when you're looking at an audience, a live audience, you get a chance to feel. You feel them. You can feel when someone's sitting right there in front of you, they have a question. You read body language. You read their eyes. And they smile when they're saying, yeah, I got it. I got what you're saying there, Marlene. Or I'm a little bit, I don't know what you're saying right there. Then you start to correct or reiterate what you just said. So it's great when you are face to face. But then I had to transform. I had to transform and look at online business, which was something I had never done before. I had never done business online before. It was new for me. So at that point, when I was on the road traveling, I've always helped businesses to protect themselves. So all of the businesses that I see, that I saw during the pandemic, shutting their doors, shutting down, that was disheartening for me. And I decided that I wasn't going to be set back from what I was doing face to face. So I got online and I still talked about ways to protect business assets. I never stopped. And those of you who know me know that that's what I'm known for is protection. And I've been known for protection for years. Out there on the road, face to face, doing workshops, everything I did, of course, face to face. The choice is yours. I had to make a choice. And you set your own terms. You set the terms. Transformation face to face, online is what we are all doing today. And some of us are now doing some face to face along with the online business. I During the pandemic, I created a podcast. And that was something new I had never done before. I had never been on a podcast before. Had never created one and had never been the host of one. And so there I was, and I decided that it was a good idea to get greater visibility for myself and for my guests. So I invited those businesses who had actually lost key employees, profitable, expertise, people who had died. So we talked about ways that they could protect themselves. And then they talked about their experience with the pandemic. We discussed it. And then there were people in the audience who then reached out to try to formulate relationships with with global relationships, because most of us had been doing it either local, me myself, it was local, or within the United States. And so I too started to learn. I started to connect with individuals who were in other countries. And this became exciting for me. And then I also invited individuals who, from the Great Resignation, who had actually either terminated employment or they had been terminated. And they came on, a lot of them were starting businesses. They were talking about the pain that was felt, the pain felt. Now, there were people who were listening to this podcast, and some of the businesses reached out and connected with some of the individuals that I interviewed. Do you know how overwhelming that was for me to see, to be able to make a difference right there in the midst of the pandemic? In the pandemic, I decided that I wouldn't be pushed around by what? Discomfort? Pushed into the comfort zone, saying that, okay, you won't be able to help businesses protect themselves any longer because you can't work face to face anymore. How's it going to work online? Or pull. Pulling is the passion that you have in place that helps you to move forward, to leap across that bridge. Even if the bridge has collapsed, you still dare yourself and you jump and you leap. Now, when the pandemic occurred, there were brick mortar businesses that shut down, but some of them shut down and they're now online. I see a lot of the businesses that who were here in my city that I could go and do business there. They've closed their doors, but they are online. And then the heartbreaking part of all of this for me are the shutdowns that occurred completely. Businesses that I've done, people I've done business with for years, they've shut down and they're no longer in business. That is what empowers me today, ladies and gentlemen, to do what I do, is because, especially after the pandemic, I definitely felt passionate about making sure that I could at least invite businesses to hear what I have to say about protection. Protect yourself. Protect yourselves. Do not let Do not let discomfort bully you, because that's what it is, bullying. You don't have to negotiate with discomfort. You don't have to negotiate. It is a bully is someone who wants all the control in their corner, right? Bullying you just to sit tight and not to move forward. But when you feel afraid, when you feel scared, that's when you can have the greatest energy of all to rush through fire and leap across to the other side, because again, you there's no bridge to cross, but you still make it over. Climb the steepest mountains. You keep you continue to inspire. You keep daring yourself. Dare yourselves today. And ask again, how have you transformed your business? How are you planning to transform your business today? Transformation is not something that happens one time. Transformation happens daily. What those thoughts that you're having, those thoughts that we have, help us to continue to rise, a continuous rise from, again, from that bully. I call discomfort the bully. You don't have to negotiate. You can do business on your own terms. And I think about with Tina Turner, and she basically, again, left her home, wanted to pursue her music career. And so that was one time she decided she would rise and move forward out of the comfort zone. And then she did get into the music industry with her husband, Ike. And then she left him because of domestic violence. She left. She was bold, courageous, and made up her mind that she would not settle. We don't have to settle. Because, like I was saying to you, when you do business, when you wake up every day, life is on your terms. You decide. You make a choice. Make a choice. And I want to just also just briefly mention. I'm on history buff. I love history. Elizabeth the First. Elizabeth, was actually someone that was forced. She was being forced to what? Marry, because they wanted her to have heirs, right? Did she do it on her own terms, or did she listen to her countrymen? Did she listen to the other countries that were trying to come over and marry her so they could take over her country? Elizabeth actually, she acted as if she were married to France, but she acted as if she were married to her country. But what I love about her mostly is how she then developed. She developed the religious. She had there was a lot of religious tensions. She settled the religious tensions, and she created what? The golden age. The golden age will evolve because of her. This easy? No, it wasn't. If you read more about her, you'll see just how much she did have to face. But she did not negotiate with discomfort. She ran the country on her own terms. And look at the Shakespearean experience that we all have today. People quote Shakespeare. They're reading Shakespeare. They actually are in his plays. Shakespeare is huge all over the world. Thank you, Elizabeth. I thank her for being tenacious. I thank her for being resilient. She never gave up, ladies and gentlemen. She didn't falter because of discomfort, because there was a lot of discomfort surrounding a female who was unmarried and had not produced an heir. That was really difficult for her. Now, discomfort lingers. When I say it lingers, I mean that it's going to be there from start to finish. So when you start off, your journey. And when discomfort is saying that's too difficult, you'll fail. Don't do that. And you're sort of like balancing back and forth. Discomfort's there, right? Discomfort also accompanies you on your journey. But as you continue climbing mountains, as you continue to leap over mountain valleys, you start to grow. And you tell discomfort, I'm not having this. I'm moving forward. You can stand there if you like, you can accompany me, but you still won't stop me. Again, live life on your own terms. Build your business on your own terms. You decide. You decide you don't have to give up. And it's non negotiable. You don't have to negotiate. You determine. You decide. What's your choice? Will you be pushed or pulled? Will you today, at this very moment, will you be pushed, negotiating with discomfort, negotiating on his terms? I said his, could be a her. Negotiating on the terms of discomfort, or will you dare and leap forward and leap across to the other side? You do it on your own terms. Discomfort will be there, but I tell you what, each time you continue to climb, you weaken its effect on your journey. Weaken it. Weaken the effect of it. Weaken. And the battle, as you know, is continuous. So just to reiterate, discomfort does what? It pushes towards the comfort zone. And discomfort continues to push, causing you to pull successfully in a more productive direction. So take the latter. You decide. Push, push, and do it on your own terms. And just want to just basically say again, Tina said that she turned wounds into wisdom. Wounds. Now, I'd love to introduce to you today Antoinette Sands. Antoinette has written a one-page story for the upcoming book, 500 Moments of Discomfort. I'm proud of the story that she's written, ladies and gentlemen. She is from Virginia. She resides in New York City. And Antoinette has a website business that focuses on barbershop, hair salons, startups, cybersecurity, veterans, and nonprofit organizations. Antoinette was talking with me, and she also wrote it in her story about anxiety, which we all face, right? The anxiety, that anxiety that you have. Now, when you're working for someone and you want to do something much better, something greater, you think about what if I fail? What if, what if, what if, what if, what if? And Antoinette's anxiety rose, the anxiety where discomfort tried to negotiate with her to stay in whatever level she was at. Stay there. Don't move forward. Stay at that particular level. But she didn't listen. Antoinette rose. She decided to open her design business, which I am going to attach for you today for you to learn more about. But in her story, she talks to you about the struggle. There was struggle. There was sacrifice. Come and read the book. Read her story. Reach out to her and talk to her about it if you like. Talk to Antoinette. Also read her story. And I'll also have a podcast hosting her so you can meet her. Come, come and witness her journey. Witness how she handled discomfort. Witness how she put him in his place, he or she, how she put them in their place. And today she's successfully promoting businesses. Now I'm proud to hear of her journey. And her story is passionate and relatable. She helps you to market the business as well. She ran through the fire and now she works online and she has the option to work face to face. She can do both. We can all do it now, right? You can work either online or work face to face. And I want to tell you that create victory on your own terms. Create victory on your terms, not on the terms of someone else telling you what you can't do. You don't have time to listen to discomfort. And I don't know what name you have, whose face you see when you think about discomfort, but no, they cannot tell you what you can and cannot do. Only you can, you decide that. You decide on your own what you can and cannot do. And the stock market, as I mentioned, is like your business. When you see the stock rise, I want you to get out there and you and do your dance, right? Dance. And when it starts to fall, you know what? Continue, hold on. Hold on to your to that confidence that you have. Hold on to it and know that you will still rise. That whatever is getting ready to take place is taking you to a crossroads, right? And the crossroads would be, do I sell or do I just stay where I am right now? You have options that you'll be faced with when the stock starts to fall. There your options start to appear, and take time and don't rush at with fear and decide what to do. Walk forward with confidence and know that you're about to do what's going to be best for you. And also reach out to those professionals who you have a trust in. Trustworthiness is supreme. You need to trust. You trust, and others will trust you. And I want to say today, what's your story? I like to ask you, what's your story? And if you'd like for the world to know your story, a one page, 250 word story that you'd like to place in my upcoming book, 500 Moments of Discomfort, reach out and we'll discuss it. And you'll see also the visibility that you'll have globally. So that means that you'll gain visibility and everybody will also learn from your passionate victory that you've accomplished in the midst of discomfort. So again, I'm inviting you, and I want to say to you that today that happy that you're here, happy that you showed up, so you could hear more about Antoinette, and looking forward also to introducing Antoinette to you. And I'm happy also with myself to have met so many of you because of the pandemic. And because, again, I never gave up on my mission, which is to help businesses protect themselves. I don't care whether it's during the pandemic, whether it's during the Great Depression, inflation, there's always a way for us to unite and keep ourselves victorious. So I want to thank you today for being here with me and look forward to seeing you next Tuesday and also seeing you on Thursday when we talk about credibility has got your back. So join me Thursday also for the virtual live stream and also back on Tuesday. Thank you so much and have a great day.